Welcome to Bay Focus. Thank you for tuning in. I'm always glad that you do. We are so honored and privileged to always feature the various ministries and community organizations we do on this program. And in just a few minutes, you're going to hear about a ministry called LoveServes International, brand new to us here on Bay Focus. But what they do to provide churches with guidance and come alongside them is unbelievable in the work they do. So you want to stay tuned for that. But before we talk to LoveServes International, we have Elise Nicole, our reporter. As you know, if you watch Bay Focus, she is with us. She has been out and about, as I like to say, again. Indeed. And you did a really interesting, fun piece, which you're going to get into. We're going to see. But give us a sneak peek. Where were you?
Okay, so I was at the Robopet adoption event for Volunteers of America. Robopet, yes. And it was phenomenal. We had such a great time meeting all the residents. It was at Clear Bay Terrace in Clearwater. And we got to witness them get adopt a pet.
I was going to say, what is that? You know, you said the term Robopet and everybody's perking up.
Yes.
You know? What do you mean by Robopet?
Robopet is a mechanically operated pet that purrs and barks if it's a dog and interacts with you as you pet it and cuddle it.
Yeah, and
it's
you know,
perfect.
This is one of the things we have featured Volunteers of America Florida, the organization. They do so many different things in helping out the community. They have an incredible residential facility in downtown St. Pete. They do so many creative, out of the box things to meet the needs of people who are dealing with homelessness, addiction, a variety of things.
Everything.
But they also work with mental health.
Yes.
And providing things and resources. And this kind of falls under that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does. And I think that many of the residents are lonely. They don't have family, visitors, et cetera. So this was a way for them to feel loved and have someone to take care of or something to take care of.
And then they don't have to do all the, clean up of a pet, and do all that. It can just be this, I would say when we first saw this come across, our office here that inviting us to attend this, I went, what in the world? But I was so intrigued.
Yes.
I was so to go, what is this and why are they taking this to a senior facility and why is this going? And we are about to find out, aren't we? Okay, so let's take a look. Here's Elisa's report. And you're going to be introduced to a few Robopets. Let's take a look.
Watch as positive moments unfold at the Robopet Adoption Day event with Volunteers of America of Florida. It felt like the paparazzi were in full swing with cuddly robotic puppies and adorable purring kittens as the darling sweets and doggy-turned-human treats were on full display. What a spectacular photo setup for the wonderful residents of Clear Bay Terrace in Clearwater. A one-of-a-kind event we're so honored to participate in.
Hi, this is Elise Nicole reporting for Bay Focus, and we are here at the Volunteers of America Robopet Adoption Day event. And I am here with my little kitty, Muffy, and she is my new best friend, and I'm gonna try to take her home. Just kidding.
The cuddles continued, as did the awarded pet certificates.
We're having a fun pet adoption party. So everybody got a certificate, a little bandana. It's just to help our residents not feel so isolated. And then they have a little pet that they don't have to clean up after.
Exactly. Tell us what this pet can do.
Right now, this kitty cat is purring like crazy, but it can move his little arms. She moves her head, she, they decide. It's up to them. But yeah, it's really, we've actually talked to a couple of residents that are so excited to be able to bring them, go shopping, things like that. And yeah, the more you interact with them, the more they interact with you.
And interact they did. And the residents and visitors couldn't get enough and were so grateful to work with all the helpers, just like Johara.
Partnering with Love for All, I believe, is the name of the companion pets. And basically, they just heard that we have a lot of residents that are elderly. A lot of them have behavioral health issues, mental health issues. A lot of them just can't take care of regular pets or can't even afford it. And so they reached out to us and we were able to work with them, get all these little robotic pets for all these residents and just keep them. Basically, it's a companion. I mean, they're getting older. They might not see their family as often. Some of them stay here full time. Who do they have to talk to? It's mainly each other and the staff, having a pet truly makes a difference. And even if it's a robotic pet, it's something.
Tell us about this wonderful event, how it got started, and what the residents are saying.
Well, this is a great initiative founded by the Humana Foundation and partnering with us in terms of checking what are the needs of our veterans, what are the current challenges that they struggle on a day by day. And the top of the list came isolation, depression, and anxiety. So they decided to partner with us and try to find a way to decrease that, a way to tell them they care, you've been seen, we're listening to you, and these pets came very handy. They were very successful for that. They have all the, I believe, key issues that you want to have in a pet, and they don't have the other issues that you don't want to experience with a pet. So they're very low maintenance. They do their trick in terms of making our residents feel they have someone to take care of.
Speaking of residents, let's hear from some of them now.
Love Chucky, love having the company, and want him around more often now. Don't have to worry about calling nobody to chat with. Got Chucky right here to chat with. I'm buying a little stroller for him. Thank you. He doesn't want to bark now because he's shy.
And now to Gladys, whose children and grandchildren live far away.
They have to work because they have family. Yeah. So they only call you, only call me. They call me, how are you doing? Okay, all right. See you sometime. And sometimes I call them and say, call you later. And sometimes they forgot or they tired. But we understand. Oh, I thought was real dogs. Yeah. And I said, no, I don't want I told her, no, I don't want no real dog. No, it's the other dog. Oh, okay.
Thank you, Volunteers of America of Florida. To find out more or to donate, go to voaflorida.org.
Thank you, Elise, so much for that really interesting and fun report. And thank the Volunteers of America, Florida. They are doing so many creative things to help people in need and help in so many different ways. Well, we have another organization that's helping people in need, including the body of Christ and churches. I'm always so honored to feature organizations that are coming alongside of our churches and our pastors and providing extra help for them to reach people for the kingdom of God. And we are honored to introduce you to LoveServes International. And the president of LoveServes International is with us today, Peter Swanson. Welcome, Peter.
Thank you.
Great to have you on the show. And I'm just going to throw this out there because I just like to throw out random pieces of information. Peter went through rain and snow and or the Skyway Bridge, actually. He crossed the Skyway Bridge to get here today. And wow, that was a bit of a feat with an accident on the bridge. So we're just so grateful that you got here. But it's always, great when we have our guests just persevere and get here and provide. So God provides, way for you to get here. So we're glad to have you. But you know what? I bet you our viewers don't know what LoveServes International is. So can you give us the explanation?
Yeah, absolutely. So it is a privilege to work with a ministry that sees the local church like the bride of Christ, as the Bible talks about, and preparing it for the groom, the coming of Christ. Well, before Jesus comes back, the church has been given a mission to go therefore and make disciples. Yeah. And so we only exist, our ministry exists as a parachurch organization, like a bridesmaid. The only reason a bridesmaid exists is to help the bride get down the aisle. So we are helping churches fulfill the Great Commission in every way that we can, through empowering and coaching and mentoring and just helping them prepare for the coming of Jesus Christ.
Okay, and that is the short version, because we're going to get into a little bit more what that really translates into. But give us a little bit of the history, because this is a unique thing. It's been going on for a number of years. There are a couple gentlemen that started this, and it goes back to the Dominican Republic. Tell us about it.
That's right. This ministry didn't start in the U.S. It started in the Dominican Republic in the mid-'80s. And it came from the hearts of Brent Whitehead, Martin Newby, two businessmen, Christian businessmen, who wanted to make a difference in a country that really struggled with, there's a lot of dirty water and people being sick. And so they started a clean water ministry, Living Waters International. What could be better? And the goal was to work with local churches, and that way when people would come to get clean water, they would also connect with the local church to get the living water of Jesus Christ. And we did that for over 20 years very successfully, thousands and thousands of projects. However, what we noticed over 20 some years is there wasn't a lot of spiritual transformation that was happening. And our director in Dominican at the time, he noticed this. He was a national, he's from there. And he said, we could keep doing these water projects, but it seems like the local church really hasn't committed or taken ownership of the Great Commission in their own communities. They're just gleaning from this water project. And so he suggested, what if we worked directly with the local churches to help them recognize their role in their community? And then they will make that connection to be the mission, to be the ministry that serves their community, not just with clean water, but with the living water.
Yeah, okay, now that now brings us, that's a really great transition, because you really took that from its origins, Dominican Republic, and you're, of course, here in the U.S. doing this now as well. You're no longer, I don't think you're no longer in the Dominican, right? This is U.S. based, correct? LoveServes International?
Oh, we are international.
Oh, you're international,
we continue to work in Dominican, Brazil, Jamaica, Guatemala.
Okay, I should have caught that, because the name LoveServes International. So you're going beyond. They're keeping you busy, but there is. We want to talk about why you do this.
Yeah.
There's a specific problems that you address. Why does the church need this?
Yeah. So when Jesus instituted the church, he said, "Go therefore and make disciples." Matthew 28. Many of us are familiar with this. Well, some research that I discovered just back in 2017, it became my why. And even though we were already working on this, it just elevated the desire for us to continue to work with churches. Here's what it was. Churchgoers were asked a simple question: what is the Great Commission? And only 17% could respond that it is to therefore go and make disciples, baptizing them and teaching them the commands of Christ. Like, very few understood what their purpose is. And that disparity leads to a stagnated or even the decline of the local church. Predominantly, this is in the West. This is, North and South America, Central America, and the Caribbean, where it seems like the church has lost its focus on the mission that Jesus gave it. So Jesus said he came to seek and save the lost, and then he handed us the baton. Well, here's where the problem is. If the church is not reaching and seeking and saving the lost, then how can the kingdom of God grow unless we send workers into the harvest? Because the harvest is white.
Yeah.
Right? So our organizations comes alongside in a very, we love the church. We want to come alongside and say, hey, let us help you once again see the role that your church has in your community. We invest in the lead, in other words, the pastor, so he becomes a healthier leader. That leader helps the church and all its members to view themselves like missionaries, where they live, where they work, where they play.
Yeah.
And that way it goes beyond just events, programs, which are important and useful, but it shifts it. Ephesians 4:12 says, for the equipping of the saints for the work of the ministry. That's all God's people should be doing, the work of making disciples, right?
Yeah.
So we help the pastor. He encourages and equips the saints, and then the community can be transformed.
Yeah, you have a term you use that I like, and you've kind of really alluded to it here. The consumer church, where a lot of people are just coming. They're just coming to church. They're taking in what they can come, and then as opposed to being a missional church, like you just explained it. Making that shift where they're not just coming and pouring into the church services. So all right, you mentioned a couple of things. Exactly, give me the practicalities. There's terms like, when I'm looking at some of the things that you do. You use terms like community transformation initiatives. You use projects. You coach pastors. There's a process you do, right? It's a multi-year process. Explain the practical steps of what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So we begin by looking at the leader himself first. So what we have found, and this is another deep research has been done that many pastors feel like they have nobody they can talk to about some of their own struggle.
Yeah.
All right, so 52% of pastors reported they have nobody to talk to. And this presents a major problem. So if the pastor or the leader is unhealthy or maybe just struggling, then it will only be a matter of time. It's not sustainable before they burn out because they feel like they're alone and they're lacking resources. And I'm not talking about the big mega churches. I'm talking about small or your average church in the U.S. or in international settings where the pastor feels alone. And so this whole idea of helping them recognize that you're not in this by yourself. The Ephesians 4:12 model is helping others so that they help you fulfill this great commission, and you do it together. You have a moment where there is in a peer group of pastors, and we meet monthly in a roundtable setting. We also do one-to-one coaching, and we have workshops. But in that peer group of other pastors, there is a moment where the ice breaks, and they become vulnerable. And I will tell you, after a year of being together with other pastors, they say, man, this has been invaluable to me. There's so many times I wanted to quit, and now I realize that there's another brother. We lead separate churches, but somehow, it's this collective brotherhood that we're building the kingdom. It's no longer about just my church, it's about God's kingdom, and we help each other.
All right, so when you go into a church, are you developing a strategy for them? I mean, do you walk in and, I would think it would be important to walk in and listen to them. What have they already tried that hasn't worked or whatever? And then do you customize something that would work for them?
Yeah, so I wouldn't call us consultants to that degree. You nailed it. We go in and we do a lot of listening, but we also provide tools that help them do a deeper dive as to what's going on underneath the hood, so to speak. We use a lot of agrarian type of things. What's beneath the surface of the soil? What is the health of the soil that this church, the seed of the church, is growing in? Because if Jesus designed the church, it's perfect. But then why is the church not grow healthy? Why isn't it producing all this wonderful fruit? Why isn't it multiplying into an orchard of apple trees? It's because there's something up with the soil. And we help them discover what some of the things, the obstacles that are creating, that are hindering the growth of the church. And not just quantitative growth. I'm talking about qualitative growth. So it takes about 12 months where we help them become a healthier leader, a healthier church, and we use natural church development. It's a tried and true for 30-something years. It's a survey with the software and all the follow-up that helps them build a healthier organism of the church. So it's not just about the structure, but in building people. There's probably too much to get into with that, but a key part that we connect it to is why. Why have a healthier leader? Why have a healthier church that is empowering leaders, and there's gift-based ministry and loving relationships? Why does the church need to be healthy? It's because if it's replicated, we want to replicate something that's good.
Yeah.
And in the community that needs to see the light of Jesus, it's through the church.
Yeah, okay. So give me an example, because what this has translated out for impact, and what's been some of the results. And if I'm a pastor, I'm watching this, what does this mean that my church needs to do to get out? And what is he talking about? Once you decide we're on a healthy basis foundation, what does this look like for me impacting my community? What are some of the results of that?
Probably a story is the best way to tell this. So I'll start with a pastor who, this is the before and after. So he was once called the angry pastor. He literally had a nickname of the angry pastor. I mean, what a terrible way to start, right?
Yeah.
He considered their church separate from the community. He was trying to protect his church from the wiles of the evils outside. What a transition when he met LoveServes and started to recognize how backward that is. And so this is what happens. We challenge them in their own doctrinal theology of the missiology of the church. And they go, oh my goodness. And there's a repentance that has to take place. And I literally sat across the table as tears went down his eyes. And he said, I was so angry. And Jesus healed me and forgave me of how I was leading my church. And so he said, what we did was we apologized to the community. This was a church that was so separate from their community, and they began to walk the community in prayer first, and then they began to get to know their neighbors and discover what are some of the needs here. Now, some of these are very impoverished neighborhoods, but then in the U.S., it's not necessarily in poverty, but they are in poverty in community. How many broken homes? About every 4 homes in our American communities, there is crisis level broken families. Mm-hmm. So what is the church's answer to that? It doesn't just take surface level programs, it takes individuals getting to know their neighbor. Oh my goodness, this sounds like Jesus' words, love your neighbor as yourself. And it sounds so simple, but it does take a complete paradigm shift to like, what is my role in this? Mm-hmm. Every believer, not just the pastor and his leadership team, but how do you, in other words, activate every believer to live on mission?
Okay, so what I'm hearing, and this is so critical to what you're saying, is I'm hearing establish relationships, get to know your community, get out there and put yourself out there, meet, do the meet and greets, do the one-on-ones, do all that, and then that will help you establish what the needs are of the community that the church can then address. All right, and all we've done is been able to give a few highlights, hopefully gotten our viewers interested to know more, because there's more to know how they can get involved. And how can our viewers get involved with LoveServes? What can they do?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, about 17 years ago when I first got involved, one of the things we established was a prayer team. We knew that if this was going to thrive, we had to pray. We had to be at the feet of Jesus. When Jesus said Mary versus what Martha was doing has chosen the right thing is, yes, it's important to do the work, but we had to be his disciple first. We had to listen to him because he's going to give us the instruction. And so for the last 17 years, we've invited people to join our prayer team. And we have a weekly prayer call every Wednesday morning. On my drive up was one of the things.
Oh my goodness. Had extra time on that drive.
Yeah. And we pray because honestly, this is his ministry. The church is his. Yeah. And so we got to seek him. Yeah. And so we're inviting people to join that way. We do trips. We do 4-day discovery trips to our international settings to see what it's like. We do mission trips. And then, of course, people can get involved by supporting us financially so that we can coach many, many more churches.
Yeah, and the best way we're going to show on screen that they can find out and connect with you, is it through the website, and then you do social media as well, and so that they can connect. Particularly, I'm thinking if we have a pastor watching or church members or lay leaders watching that just want to find out more and see if they could benefit from what you do. Peter, thank you so much for coming on the program today. What an incredible work that you do. And I just want to encourage you, we're going to put on the screen how you can contact LoveServes International, that they work internationally, but also here in the U.S. So if you really want to have somebody come alongside you, your church, and really, really take you to a deeper level of ministry and community outreach, you want to contact them. Here's how you do it. We'll be right back with more Bay Focus.
We want to hear from you. Is there an event happening in the Tampa Bay area or an organization helping the local community? If you have answers, let us know. Email us at darleneg@ctnonline.com. Find us online at ctnonline.com/bayfocus or follow us on Facebook at Bayfocus TV.
For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Then you will call on me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart.
Well, I know you've enjoyed our conversation with Peter Swanson of LoveServes International. And Peter, I want to really quickly, you have had tremendous results with this ministry. Give us some of the stats.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've had the privilege of walking alongside in this full program over 4,000 churches.
Wow.
In 5 different countries. And because those churches are loving and caring for their community, they have started over 17,000 ministries ministering to those outside the 4 walls. And because of that, over 211,000 people have come to Christ.
Wow. Okay. I cannot think of a better way to end out the show. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Peter. And thank you for tuning in this week. I want you to contact me here at Bay Focus if you have something you think that we should share with our viewers about a ministry or a community organization. You're seeing on the screen how you can do that. And I want to wish you a very, very blessed week ahead. We're always so thrilled when you come and tune in with us and pray for Bay Focus too. We really want the mind of God to know the ministries like we've done today that we want to feature on this program so that we can help get the word out. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week. God bless you.
For over 20 years, Bay Focus has taken you behind the scenes of Central Florida ministries, community organizations, and local events. Join host Darlene Greenlee as she talks to local leaders about how Christians can express faith in action in their communities. Tune in on Wednesdays and Thursdays on CTN Greater Tampa Bay or watch on demand at ctnonline.com/bayfocus.